You're listening to the Life Coaching Secrets Podcast, episode 224.
Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets.
What's up, coaches? In this episode, I am going to share what 7-figure coaches do differently, and I'm also going to peel back the curtain and share with you the exact strategies that I took to get my business to reach 7 figures. And when I say 7 figures, the way I define that is a business that makes over $1 million in a 12-month period. And I'm very excited to share this episode. I've spent many months outlining exactly what I want to share. Now, as a reminder, I am releasing so many episodes for the rest of the summer. Make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast so you get notified when new episodes are pushed out. All right, so let's talk about this. I want to start by sharing a little story, and this was many years ago, well before I was making 7 figures. I don't even know if I was really making over $15,000 or $20,000 per month. I was maybe making around $5,000 to $10,000 per month as a coach. I remember when I was at this event, I met this woman, and she was talking about, she was also running her own business, and she had coaching as one of the services that she offered. And she mentioned that she made over $100,000 per month as a coach. And I, like I said, was making around $10,000 per month at that time. And when she said that she made over $100,000 a month, I was floored. I had just started to dream about having consistent 10K months because I had just hit that milestone. And this woman casually said to me in response to that, when I told her how it seemed like such a massive difference to go from $10,000 a month to $100,000 a month, she casually said to me, just add a zero. That's it. She said, just add a zero. And I smiled politely when she said that, but inside my brain short-circuited because I said, what? Add a zero? It sounded like one of those cheeky phrases meant to inspire somebody. But honestly, I didn't get it when she shared that. Was she just talking about raising prices or working harder or attracting like unicorn clients out there? And it stuck with me for years after she had said, just add a zero. It stuck with me. And eventually, after a lot of reflection and a lot of my own growth and a few humbling lessons, it finally clicked. I realized that it was not about the money. It was about capacity, energetic capacity, leadership capacity, and also belief capacity. So this episode isn't just about income goals. It's really about identity goals. Because the version of you that's making $5,000 a month and $10,000 a month isn't less than the one that's making $100,000 a month as a coach. But they are operating from different beliefs, behaviors, and also boundaries. So it's not about grinding harder or doing more work. It's really about growing your energetic and your leadership capacity, which means your ability to hold more, to lead more, to serve more, and also to trust more. That's the real shift. So this isn't a conversation about how to chase flashy milestones in your business. It's about becoming the version of you who naturally welcomes bigger opportunities, bolder decisions, and a much deeper impact. Okay, the leap to 100K months and a 7-figure business is not about piling on more tasks. It's really about shifting the way you see yourself and becoming someone who expects high level and premium clients, someone who can really trust that your work is so profoundly valuable. So as we dive into this, I want to share that you don't have to desire to have a 7-figure coaching business. Okay, that is not the point of this episode. This is not about me glorifying an income goal and tying your worth to how much money that you make. Okay, this conversation I'm sharing here is about possibility. It's about you expanding your capacity to dream bigger if that's what you feel called to do. It's about removing any imaginary ceiling that is telling you that that kind of success is for other people out there, but not you. Right? You get to define what wealth looks like for you. Maybe your dream is to make $5,000 a month by working part-time as a coach so you can have more space in your life for your family. Maybe it's having 20K months with an intimate number of really high-level premium clients. Maybe it's having a more global brand and scaling your business to multiple millions a year. All of those desires are totally valid. So the problem isn't that some people don't want to make 7 figures. It's really not about that. The problem is that many people do want to make that, but deep down they're dismissing that desire because they think that it's unrealistic or out of reach or selfish. So whether your goal is to make 7 figures as a coach or not, this episode is an invitation to challenge any belief that says that you're not allowed to want more, or you're not capable of wanting more, or that you're not worthy of more. Okay, what is the point of this episode is showing you what's possible if it's what you desire, right? I want you to see that creating extraordinary success is not about being lucky or being loud. It's really about choosing to believe in your value and anchoring into your vision and really committing to the kind of growth that most people are just too afraid to pursue. So if you've ever wondered whether you could be one of those 7-figure coaches who just adds a 0, then this episode is going to be the answer for you. Now, the moment that she said that, just add a 0, this was not her sharing with me business advice. She was sharing a mindset invitation, right? She was showing me that 100K months were not reserved to some special elite. It wasn't a secret club of people. There weren't any gatekeepers. The only barrier was how small I was willing to keep thinking at that time. And it took me a lot of time to understand that 100K months as a coach aren't harder than 10K months. They're just different. They require different systems. But they more importantly require different standards, different levels of clarity, different ways of showing up. So that's what I say when I'm talking about how it's not about doing things. When I say that it's not just about doing things differently, it's really about being someone different, someone who's able to think bigger and play to win instead of playing not to lose, right? Someone who realizes that the biggest ceiling that you're ever going to face is really the one that you place on yourself. Before we talk about any strategy or pricing or any tactics, I really want you to begin with the one thing that truly changes everything, which is your mindset, right? The rules that you have. Because if you don't believe that it's possible for you to make 7 figures as a coach, you're going to unconsciously sabotage every move that might get you there. You're not going to take the bold actions. You're going to undercharge. You're going to hesitate instead of sell. And you'll play small because deep down, you've just decided already that this is an unwinnable game, right? When I first heard about coaches making 100K months and 7-figure years, I really thought, oh, that must be for them, but I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if I'm able to do that. I believe that it was just for people who had these huge followings or had celebrity clients or had really big corporate contacts and connections. So I didn't see how someone like me at that time could actually get there. But the only problem I had was my belief, right? Every income level in your coaching business is built on the back of your beliefs and your rules that you have. So you have to believe it before you see it. This is a concept in the academy we call thoughts before evidence, right? Having a thought before you actually have evidence of it. Because a surefire way to keep yourself stuck in your life is thinking that if you haven't seen something yet or experienced it yet, then you can't believe it and it's not possible, right? That is one mindset that's going to forever keep you stuck. You must flip the script and give yourself permission to have thoughts and believe in things even before you have evidence of that. And the reason why this works so well is because when you actually align yourself with thoughts before you even have evidence of those thoughts, you actually create those results for yourself. So the thoughts end up creating the evidence because you're choosing to have them ahead of time, and that impacts how you show up to your goals and desires. Okay. And not just about being vague about it. It's not just, yeah, I guess this is going to happen someday. I'm really talking about you deciding and declaring that your success is inevitable, right? That you are inevitably going to have a 7-figure coaching business, that you're capable of it, that you're already the person who is growing into that level, and it's just a matter of time, right? That's the belief that I had to cultivate before I ever saw a single 100K month, right? And the truth that a lot of people overlook is that the beliefs that you hold are going to determine the opportunities that you notice. The rules that you have and those beliefs, they're going to determine the clients you attract. They're also going to determine the energy that you bring to conversations with potential clients and the level of service that you are willing to offer. Okay, so this is not about fluff, just having positive sounding thoughts. It's really your entire foundation. If your business isn't growing in the way that you want it to, it's not just about your offer or your funnel. It's really about asking yourself, what do you believe is possible for you? And what would you do differently if you truly believed that a 7-figure business was inevitable, that $1 million year was inevitable for you? Now, I also want to take a moment and break down the math for a second. $1 million a year sounds like a really large number, right? But when you break it down, it's about $83,000 per month. It's technically $83,333 per month. And I remember the first time that I had made $83,000 in an entire year as a coach. This was well before I was training coaches. I made $83,000 in one of those years, and I was in awe when that happened. It felt like everything I had worked toward had finally started to manifest. And I was so proud of myself. I was so amazed. I was honestly a bit shocked that I had done it. And then fast forward, and eventually I started having, I had a month where I brought in $83,000 for the first time. The same number that I was making in 12 months, I was now able to make in 30 days. And that moment taught me something really important. The number didn't change, right? It was still 83K. I changed, right? What I once thought was a crazy distant dream just became the new normal for me. And it wasn't because I was hustling harder. It wasn't because I just had a lucky month. It was because I expanded my mindset, right? I expanded how I saw myself. So what if what you think is your ceiling for your business and what you think in your brain you're capable of making in a month as a coach, what if that eventually becomes your new floor, your new baseline, the new normal for you? That's the evolution of growth in business. You just keep meeting new versions of yourself. You stretch, you stabilize, and then you stretch yourself again. And the coolest part of that is the more that you normalize expansion, the less dramatic it becomes. It's not this massive leap. It's just the next step in your becoming. I'm going to say that one more time. The more that you normalize expansion in yourself and in your business, the less dramatic it becomes. And it's not this massive leap. It's just the next step in your becoming. So if you're looking at this number, $83,000 a month, and you think, wow, that's such a large number. How could I ever hit that? Know that it's not about you reaching it. It's just about you rising into it. Just one thought, one action, and one stretch at a time. So I'm going to share with you some new thoughts that you can consider trying on that will support you in stepping into and rising to $83,000 months and beyond. Some thoughts that you would want to try on are, there are clients that are actively looking for someone exactly like you. Every step you take moves you closer, even if you can't see the full path yet. You don't have to have a massive audience. You just need the right offer and the right message for the right people. Your success is inevitable because you decided to become the person who can hold that success. Okay, selling is an act of service. When you invite someone into your offer or your program, you're changing their life. Okay, you don't have to work more to earn more. You just have to focus more intentionally. And every dollar you earn reflects the value that you bring, not your worth as a human. It's just the value that you're bringing into people's lives. And I really love having this thought as well. Scaling your business does not require stress or sacrifice. It requires alignment and leadership. Now, to me, it's been about way more than just making the money itself. It's so fun and exciting to make lots of money as a coach. But really what matters more and what has driven me is knowing that I created the kind of income by providing massive value to others. Right? I created all this income because of all the value I've been able to provide to people. It means I didn't just sell them something, I served powerfully. I impacted lives, I created breakthroughs. I helped people believe in themselves again and helped them create results that matter to them. So every dollar earned for you is a reflection of someone saying, yes, I see value in what you offer. Yes, this changed my life. So when you think about making $1 million in a year as a coach, you don't have to think of it as a bunch of dollar signs, right? I actually see it as a ripple effect. I see the hundreds or even thousands of people who were touched by something that I created, whether it be a course or a session or a conversation or a podcast episode, something that made them think differently, act differently, believe differently. That's really what lights me up, right? The money just becomes a byproduct of the service you give. And when you lead from that place, when your focus is on helping people solve real problems in their lives, and you're unapologetic about the value that you bring, that abundance just becomes natural. So yes, making 7 figures is really exciting, but the real win is knowing that so many people were impacted so deeply and that they felt a full-bodied yes to investing in themselves through the work that you offer. And that's really the part that gives that number so much meaning. So I want to now share, now that we've covered some of the mindset and rules to have, I want to go over the 7 things, the 7 actual strategies and changes that I made in my business over the years to take it from 6 figures to 7 figures in a year. Okay, since this episode's about number 7 figures, I'm going to go over 7 things that helped get there. And think about how you can apply each of these 7 tactics and strategies to grow your business from wherever it is now to get to that next level. Number 1 is I went from having low clarity on my niche to having very strong clarity on my niche. And I have a few episodes on this podcast where I talk about niche. I talk about how to specialize your coaching. I noticed that when I started making $80K per month, up to $100K per month and beyond, the more that I dialed in and got clear, the more my income grew. So a lot of coaches, when they're getting started, they try to appeal to everybody who they think might need coaching. Right? They don't want to leave anybody out. And I did this myself when I was very early in my business. And whenever you do that and you just try to mildly appeal to everybody, you become forgettable, right? Your content just becomes very diluted and broad, and you're not really speaking to anyone specific. So over time, I got really crystal clear on who I wanted to help, how I could help them, and why it really matters. And that clarity made everything so much easier, from knowing exactly what ways I wanted to market myself, what message to put out there, to even what to offer, what type of programs and coaching services to offer. So the clearer that you are on your niche, the faster your business is going to move and grow. And in Thriving Coach Academy, we have a very comprehensive training on figuring out what your niche is, and we will make sure you know exactly what niche aligns with your values and the purpose you want to have while also being viable and lucrative. We will help you with all of that. Number 2 is I accumulated a lot of client success stories. Early in my business, I was helping a lot of people, but I didn't always know how to capture or amplify the success that they were having. I wasn't even tracking their wins. I wasn't asking for testimonials and using their stories to build momentum. But then I started to ask my clients after they'd have breakthroughs and share with me how valuable the coaching was. I would ask them if they'd be willing to share a testimonial. And now, client success stories, they're the heartbeat of, I think, what sells Thriving Coach Academy, but all the previous coaching businesses I ran before TCA, that was always the funnest way to market the business. It was just showing potential clients the success of people just like them, right? Knowing exactly how to guide your clients to actually have results and then know how to celebrate and showcase their wins. So you can think about this for your business right now. How well are you capturing your client success? How well are you tracking their progress? When you can become a coach known for the results, that you create, everything really changes and your reputation really starts doing the marketing for you. Now, also in Thriving Coach Academy, we're going to show you the best way to track your clients' progress and also make sure that you are inviting them to share wonderful and glowing testimonials with you. So we're going to make that very simple for you in the Academy. Number 3 is, this one's really big. I spent less time on busy things and delegated more. And it's interesting, over the years, my coaching business, over the 10, 11 years I've been in the industry, every single year my income has grown, but I never go into a new year really attached to my business making more money. What I am thinking about is how can I get to exactly where I was at from the previous year by doing less? Not from a lazy place of I don't want to work, but from a place of what are the actions that really generate the most results, and what are the actions that provide the most value? And also, what are the actions I can release and delegate for someone else to do, so that way I can really focus on my zone of genius. Okay, I was really, in the beginning, like a lot of coaches, I was so possessive over my business. I didn't want to release any parts of it. I noticed that as the years have gone by, I've been able to delegate more. And that has allowed my business to continue to grow. Okay. And it's really amazing when you're able to release that control over your business and have a team to support you. I used to tell myself, like, oh, it's just really expensive. I can't afford to hire support and I should figure everything out on my own. And I got to the point where I was really exhausted when I was early on in my business, trying to be the coach and do all the administrative work, etc. And then as the years went by, I grew a team and I started delegating tasks, and I hired an executive assistant to cover administrative projects. And I realized that this really freed up my time. So if you want a 7-figure business, you're not going to get there by doing everything by yourself. It's not a luxury to delegate parts of your business. It's a leadership skill. And there is an episode on this podcast on how to delegate, where I give you exact strategies to know how to release that control in your business and the exact tasks that you can delegate as a coach. And we also provide more training on this as well in the Academy. Are you seeing a theme here? We're going to help you get to this place where you really have a very highly valuable coaching business. All right. Number 4 is I dialed in on one marketing strategy. Okay. So instead of trying to market myself in dozens of different ways, I started to embrace what I call the 1-1-1 principle. And what that means is I had one niche and I had one marketing channel, and I took that to my first million. Okay. Instead of trying to spread yourself thin and be on all the social media platforms and also be doing workshops and podcasts, I just decided to dial in on one primary marketing strategy and mastering that. Okay. And really, over time, I've realized that having this core organic marketing strategy, this is what has led to the majority of the clients that I've enrolled over the years. All right. So when you are marketing yourself, don't think, how can I just do everything to market myself? I want you to think instead, how could you dial in on one strategy? One strategy. Sometimes people wonder about, like, at what point in your business would it be useful to start paying for online advertising? When you're getting started, you want to focus on an organic marketing strategy, meaning you're not paying for ads. You can have a podcast, you can have live events and workshops you do, or you can post on social media. You don't have to do all those things, just stick with one. And then eventually, when you start having a more consistent stream of income and flow of clients, only when you start having a winning offer and all of the pieces are together, that's when you can start adding some fuel to the fire. That's when you can consider having paid ads to then grow things from there. So don't think that just paying for ads is going to be a shortcut or a magic fix for your business, because if you have an unclear message, an unclear niche, an unclear offer, and you're trying to scale it when it's not really dialed in, then it's like you're just pouring water into a bucket with a bunch of holes in it. It's just going to leak right through. Okay. So if you're starting out, stay away from paid ads. I'm not saying that paid ads never work, but you really want to refine your message and embrace that 1-1-1 principle. And once you've got a system that's converting consistently and you're starting to enroll clients with ease, you're making a good amount as a coach, like at least $10,000 to $20,000 per month, that's when you can look into some paid strategies to supplement and scale your growth and get you to that million faster. Okay, when you have that winning offer. Now, I often say on this podcast that your first dollar you make is the hardest because you've got all this doubt and fear. You're wondering, can I really do this? Are people going to hire me? Are people going to get value? And then once you make your first dollar, then the second hardest is making your first $1,000. And then the third hardest milestone is making your first $10,000. And then the fourth hardest milestone is making your first $100,000. It does get simpler as you go because you grow with your business. Okay. And I will share that making $100K in a year, like getting to the first $100K, it absolutely felt so much harder to make the first $100K in a year than making over $1 million a year. I know that can be really difficult to wrap your head around, but it's because you grow as your business grows as well, right? As I talked about earlier, you just normalize expansion. You realize that it's just normal for you to grow. All right, so I want to share a couple more strategies. Number 6 is shifting to offering more premium and high ticket coaching programs. All right, so the majority of successful 7-figure coaches that I know, they have a premium coaching offer. When I say that, I mean they are selling a signature program for $5,000 to $15,000 per client. So let's say an average of $10,000 per client. Okay. And when you do the math, right, if you have a $5,000 coaching program, you would need about 16 clients per month, and this will take you to $1 million in a year. If you have a $10,000 coaching program, you'll need to enroll about 8 clients per month, and that will take you to $1 million per year. And if you have a $15,000 coaching program, you need about 5 to 6 clients per month, or about 1 to 2 clients per week. So you notice how when you raise your rates, it requires fewer clients for you to hit the income goal of 7 figures, of 1 million. Right? So I realized before I was training coaches, I wanted to play that game. I wanted to offer something very high value. I wanted to attract people that were very committed to their growth and their success. And it simplified everything, right? When you have a 10K offer, you don't need to enroll hundreds of people to be hitting your income goals, right? You don't have to worry about constantly chasing all of these leads. It really just dials everything in. Okay, so if you were to have a $200 per hour coaching business, or you had a $200 coaching course, or you were charging like $50 a session, you're going to need thousands of clients to really hit these milestones. And most coaches don't have the audience size or even the infrastructure to make that work. And the good news is you don't have to, because you can just simplify everything by becoming a premium high ticket coach. Okay, and this is not because you're greedy, it's because you are offering something very transformational and very valuable, and you're pricing it accordingly. Okay, you're not charging something for the sake of it or just for fluff. So a premium offer attracts a more committed client. And when someone is investing at a higher level, they're going to show up differently. They're going to be more invested, more accountable, more likely to get results. So it's not just about a premium business model making things simpler. It's really more effective, it's more sustainable, and it's more fulfilling because you're going to be doing amazing work with such dedicated clients. And you don't need to have a massive audience to do this. You don't have to be marketing yourself everywhere. You've just got to put the right offer in front of the right person, right? And in Thriving Coach Academy, this is something that we specialize in teaching. We provide our students with what's called the premium coaching formula. And we're going to show you exactly how to establish yourself as a top tier coach. And it's something that no other coaching school teaches. We specialize in teaching this. So you're not going to be selling yourself short. We're going to show you how simple it is for those premium clients to find you and see your coaching as something they want to invest in. And we're going to show you how to really deliver that world-class high-ticket client experience. All right, and the 7th strategy that took my business to 7 figures is investing in mentorship. All right, so I want to say something that a lot of people sometimes tiptoe around, and I want you to hear it clearly. You must invest money to make money. And every single coach that I know who's earning 7 figures, myself included, have invested tens of thousands of dollars in coaching and mentorship. I've been in rooms with $1 million earners. And do you know what every single person in that room had in common? None of them got there without investing at least $25,000, often way more into their growth. Not one person, right? Nobody in that room invested under $20K in coaching, training, and mentorship. And those people, myself included in that, didn't come from money. They just bet on themselves, right? They bet on themselves. We didn't wait until we felt ready or until our business was already thriving or until it felt safe. We made this scary, uncomfortable choice to put money on the line before we had those results, because that's what real leaders do. So if you're trying to build a 7-figure coaching business and you're only making little tiny safe investments in your own mentorship and training, then you're playing a very small game and you're signaling to yourself and to the world and the universe that you don't fully believe in your vision. Okay, big results require big belief, and big belief shows up as big, bold investments in yourself and your future. One of my mentors said once, if you have a big mission, it requires big support, and you deserve the best possible support you can get. So this is not about success having a price tag that only some people can afford. It's about you building a thriving business that allows you to collapse that time in order to do it. It's about you building a business while collapsing the time to get there. And the fastest way to collapse that timeline is by learning from people who have already done what you want to do, right? When you invest in mentorship, you're not just buying information, you're buying clarity, you're getting confidence, and you're getting like a fast track to skip some of that trial and error where a lot of people get stuck. And you're telling yourself, I believe so much in my future that I'm willing to bet on it right now. And I'm being real with you. I don't want to sugarcoat this at all. Some people genuinely think that if they spend $1,000 or so, couple thousand in a coaching program or some cheap training course, they think they're automatically entitled to a 6-figure coaching business or more. They think like success should just be instant and guaranteed or effortless. Would you expect to spend $2,000 on a law degree or medical school and then walk out making 6 figures in those respective career paths? No, that would be ridiculous. Of course not. So why would coaching, where you're building a business and learning a skill set of how to coach, be any different? Really let that sink in, right? This doesn't mean that it has to cost you your life savings and it's going to take you forever. But if you're expecting a 7-figure, $1 million business with very minimum investment, not just financially, but energetically, it's probably not going to happen. And the coaches who thrive really treat their business like a business. They invest in mentorship and support. They're not dabbling, they're all in. And it doesn't mean throwing your money at the wall. It really means being willing to stretch when you know something or someone is going to help you grow. I say that not from a judgmental place. I really want to set you up for success and invite you to believe in yourself and bet on yourself. All right. So when you think about also investing in your business as well, you want to invest wisely. So don't just throw something at something that's cheap thinking it's going to help you, because the truth is, if you're really serious about building your business, you're better off investing in quality, right? In quality mentorship and training. That's really going to give you the success you want. If you invest in things just based off of the cost and you think, well, what's the cheapest? Then instead of making that be the way you decide, ask yourself instead, is this going to actually get me where I want to go? Or am I just settling for what feels safe to just end up circling around in the same plateau a year from now? Right? Like when I first started my business, I wasn't yet that person that a 7-figure business was for. And I don't say that to put myself down. It's just the truth. I hadn't yet developed that mindset in leadership, confidence, and I didn't have that energetic capacity to hold something of that magnitude. And when I look back, I really believe the universe is giving you exactly what you need in any moment to grow. It's not giving you what your ego wants. It's not what your bank account demands. It's giving you what your soul is really ready for. And sometimes that means smaller numbers and slower starts and some disappointing results, because those are the moments that are actually shaping you into who you need to become. I remember there were days when I would put on workshops and no one showed up or barely anyone showed up. And I would feel very embarrassed and I questioned myself. But in hindsight, I realized that was all a gift. I wasn't ready for a room full of people yet. I was still figuring out my voice and my confidence and my message. Right? If 50 people had shown up at one of my first workshops, I would have been so overwhelmed. I wouldn't have any idea how to support that group of people. So if you feel a little discouraged by things right now, just know that the universe isn't saying no, it's just saying not yet, right? And when you grow into the next version of yourself and when you become the person who can hold more, who has the capacity to hold more, those opportunities are going to show up to match that energy. Right? If you're in a season of your life or with your business where you feel like things are going slower than you want, don't rush through it. You're not being punished. It's just preparation for what's to come. So before I wrap up this episode, I want to take a moment and say something that's really important for me to share. I am so deeply grateful for all of the success that I've experienced as a coach. Not because of the financial freedom, not just because of that it's given me, but really because of what it all represents, right? To me, this whole journey has been about way more than just hitting a big number. It's about the people that I've met along the way, all the lives that I've had the privilege to impact, and really the version of myself that I've grown into every step of the way. I think back to that version of me who was just starting out, like very scared and scrappy and unsure if this was even possible. And if you had told him what life would look like now, he probably would not have believed you. So I don't take any of it for granted. I'm so grateful for the clients who have trusted me even when I was figuring everything out. Really grateful for the team I've built, the mentors who have guided me, and all of those challenges that have also shaped me. I'm even grateful for those low moments, those workshops I referenced where nobody showed up, or the launches I did that totally flopped, or those moments where doubt crept in, because all of it helped build the foundation for the business that I now lead. Right? The success didn't come overnight for me, and it definitely didn't come without effort, but it did arrive. And I share that not to impress anybody. It's really just to express gratitude and to let you know that if it is possible for me, then it's certainly possible for you. So wherever you are right now, whether you're just dreaming of your first 10K month as a coach, or you're starting to imagine your first $1 million year, I want you to know that you don't have to hustle harder. You don't have to become someone else. You simply have to grow into the version of you who's already capable of holding more. The path to getting to 7 figures isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things with more belief and more clarity and more conviction. And if that number feels impossible right now, even as we get to the end of this episode, I want you to let this be proof. Everything I've shared, let it be proof that it's not. It's not impossible, right? What feels like a stretch today can become your new normal tomorrow. So you're not far behind. You're not too late. You're not an exception to success. Every time you show up, every time you serve more powerfully, you are stepping closer. So go ahead and add that 0 because your next level is waiting for you to claim it. All right, that's what I got in this episode on making 7 figures as a coach. If you're loving the show, please do leave a 5-star review. Write a sentence or two about what value you're getting from the podcast. And of course, remember to subscribe so you are notified when more episodes are shared. All right, that's what I got. So great to have you here, and I will see you in the next episode.
Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coaches' secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.